The theater kids are making a comeback. And you know what? Rightfully so, because music needs theater kids, okay? And the thing is, in case you don't know what theater kids, what that means, it's usually a derogatory term. It doesn't always apply to theater kids. You know what I mean? It's kind of like band kids in a way, where you'll see people labeling others as theater kids or band kids, and they might not have been band kids or theater kids, but I guess they're cringe a little bit. You know, they put in a little bit too much effort. I will admit, I mean, that I have a love hate relationship with theater kids, specifically like those a cappella theater kids, because they're always like in public places, just like breaking into song and dance. And it's like, this is not High School Musical. But you know what? I've come to appreciate the fact that they care as much about this, because while I might not think anything a cappella related is interesting to me at all, specifically, like if you have a guy that's like singing the drums, I'm uninterested, right? But the effort is something that we've been missing. We went through an era, I feel, from like 2018 to probably 2024, where it seemed like a lot of artists wanted to make it known that it's just effortless how cool they are. And it really was effortless, because there really was no effort. That was the secret, right? If you try too hard, you could potentially come across as cringe, right? Because if you try too hard and it's not successful, then it's just like, ugh, cringe, unsuccessful. There's an inherent risk in putting forth effort that isn't there if you don't put in any effort. This is all going to sound really stupid. Maybe I'm not making a lot of sense, but I genuinely feel like the reason why it was so easy for certain artists to, I guess, make it look effortless is because they weren't putting in any effort, and it was boring. And you know what? We got a lot of songs that you could play at like the club or the gym, but I'm going to be honest with you. Those songs are great. Um, I will listen to them in those circumstances, but sometimes I want a song that's going to make me feel things. You know what I mean? I do enjoy the other range of emotions that human beings can have. It isn't just all honed in on like me lift things up or me dance four on the floor beat at party. It can get complicated. You know, there's albums that could bring you to tears. There's albums that could give you a lot of joy. Albums that could make you mad. You get the idea. But the idea that theater kids are making a comeback is something that genuinely excites me. They're saying it about like Tyler the Creator, Doechii, Kendrick Lamar, and I think the Kendrick one's pretty funny because he's not really a theater kid in the sense that like he's always kind of out there. If anything, Drake would be more of a theater kid considering he was literally a child actor. Like he is the theater kid, you know. I don't know if you've seen some of those old performances with like the pyrotechnics and everything of him like going, oh, and there's like fire and whatever. And there's like the jacket he wore with like the fake bullet holes. That's theater kid shit. To me, that's the cringe theater kid shit. Theater kid shit isn't just, I don't know, putting forth effort or trying unique things or trying to tweak a genre. That's just like called, I don't want to say doing what you should do as an artist, but it's like something that you should maybe consider if you're an artist. You know, it shouldn't always just be like, what's the formula? Let's look it up. I don't even care if I like this shit or not. I just know that if I use these four chords that sound really good and I do a four on the floor beat or a Jersey beat or whatever, this is going to go crazy. And they've been doing that. And it's been boring. It's been genuinely boring. Because like I said, you're always going to have party music. No matter how you look at it, there's always going to be popular music that plays at the parties. It's going to be catchy. It's going to sound good. But are you going to have that 4 o'clock in the morning life-changing album that where you're like, oh, like this is hitting me really hard. This is helping me get through some shit. Other than like a set or like the party, you know what I mean? Like maybe the song is helping you get through the awkwardness of asking that girl out. Boring. Okay? Boring. You need a song for that? Couldn't be me. All right. But anyways, the theater kids are making a comeback, which is good because I missed the theater kids in the mainstream. The theater kids have always been there in the underground and indie scene. But shout out to theater kids making the rounds in the mainstream right now, because that tends to be more exciting in the long term.